The Minister of Power, Adelabu, has said Nigerians will soon begin to enjoy improved electricity supply as the federal government moves to resolve ongoing gas constraints affecting generation. Hi, welcome to What's Happening. Here are the top 10 stories countdown for today. At number 10, 6 major international powers, including Britain, France, Germany, and Japan, said Thursday they were ready to contribute to the appropriate efforts to ensure safe passage through the Strait of Hormuz. The declaration came as an effective Iranian blockade of the Strait has paralyzed commercial shipping through the crucial maritime choke point, which in peacetime sees a fifth of global crude oil and liquefied natural gas pass through it. The war, which erupted on February 28 when the US and Israel began bombing Iran, has led Tehran to retaliate with strikes across the Gulf region, with 23 commercial vessels, including 10 tankers, reporting have been attacked or having incidents. At number 9, FIFA fined Israeli Football Association (IFA) 150,000 Swiss francs on Thursday for multiple breaches of its anti-discrimination obligations. A report by the Disciplinary Committee of World Football's governing body found the IFA failed to take meaningful action against the club Beitar Jerusalem for persistent and well-documented racist behavior. In October 2024, the Palestine Football Association reported allegations of discrimination by the IFA to FIFA, which began an investigation. FIFA did not opt for the sanction requested by the Palestinian FA, which argued that the IFA should be suspended. At number 8, the African Democratic Congress has linked the rising wave of terrorist attacks and increasing civilian deaths in Nigeria to what it described as a breakdown in governance under President Bola Tinubu, citing the 2026 Global Terrorism Index report as evidence of worsening insecurity across the country. In a statement issued on Thursday by its National Publicity Secretary, Bolaji Abdullahi, the ADC outlined a three-pronged approach aimed at strengthening intelligence coordination, decentralizing policing to enhance community-level security, and transitioning from reactive measures to proactive, intelligence-driven operations. At number 7, Uber Technologies Incorporation has highlighted that its platform supports 6.1 billion naira in collective annual earnings for drivers in Nigeria as app-based transport operators staged a strike in Lagos, the country's most popular city and commercial hub. The walkout, which began on Monday, continued on Tuesday and remained ongoing on Wednesday, has affected ride-hailing platforms including Uber, Bolt, and InDrive. According to union statements, the strike was triggered by rising operational costs, low fares, and challenging working conditions. Drivers logged off their apps, temporarily reducing ride availability across the city and underscoring tensions in Lagos' fast-growing ride-hailing sector. At number 6, the All Progressives Grand Alliance in Abia State has called on the Senate to declare the seat of the senator representing Abia South, Eyinaya Abaribe, vacant following his resignation from the party. The party made the call on Thursday during a press briefing in Umuahia, where its leadership, led by a former member of the Abia State House of Assembly, Obinna Ichita, insisted that Abaribe voluntarily resigned from APGA and was not sacked, contrary to his claim at the Senate. Ichita argued that Abaribe's exit from the party that sponsored his election violates constitutional provisions, stressing that there was no leadership crisis within APGA to justify his defection. At number 5, there was panic at St. Matthias Catholic Church, Agulu, in Anocha local government area of Anambra State, after a fully loaded lorry crashed into the church premises and caught fire. The incident, which occurred late on Wednesday along the Agulu Lake Golden Tulip Hotel Road, caused gridlock as motorists slowed down while emergency responders battled to contain the blaze. An eyewitness, who identified himself simply as Uzo, said the lorry was traveling at high speed when it lost control, veered off the road, and rammed into the church fence, triggering the fire. At number 4, the Minister of Interior, Olubunmi Tunji-Ojo, is mobilizing women across Ondo State's 18 local government areas to support the re-election bid of President Bola Tinubu ahead of the 2027 general elections. This was disclosed on Friday in Akure by a former Commissioner for Community Development and Cooperative Services in the state, Yetunde Adeyanju, during a stakeholders meeting of the Asiwaju Mandate Group, a political organization aligned with the minister. Adeyanju said the women's wing of the group had been given a target to mobilize at least 95% of women in the state in support of the president's second term ambition. At number 3, the Ebonyi state government has debunked reports making the rounds that it was using contracts to empower stakeholders, especially influential ones in the state. The State Commissioner for Information and Orientation, Chief Ikeowa Omebe, made the disclosure on Friday in Abakaliki while addressing newsmen. The commissioner noted that contract awards in the state were based on merit, as bidding and awards passed through due processes at the State Bureau for Public Procurement. He explained that the government does not condone a lackadaisical approach by contractors in project execution, saying that stringent actions have been taken in this regard over time. At number 2, a viral video on Friday has sparked outrage after showing scenes of alleged sexual assault involving several women during a local festival in Ozoro, Delta State. The disturbing footage, which circulated widely on social media, captured groups of young men reportedly attacking women seen in public, forcefully tearing their clothes and subjecting them to various forms of molestation. Reacting to the developments, the spokesperson for the Delta State Police Command, Bright Edafe, described the incident as alarming, disgusting and embarrassing. He disclosed that the Commissioner for Police, Aina Adeshola, has ordered a full investigation into the matter. At number 1, the Minister of Power, Adebayo Adelabu, has said Nigerians will soon begin to enjoy improved electricity supply as the federal government moves to resolve ongoing gas constraints affecting generation. Adelabu made this known in his Eid al-Fitr message on Thursday, where he noted that recent interventions by the government are beginning to address persistent gas supply challenges that have limited power generation across the country. According to him, the government is implementing concrete measures to ensure a reliable supply for homes and businesses. That's all for now. See you next time on What's Happening.